start with. Nobody expected what this 2020 is going to bring in, and we have no choice. We are there. So, and I've been talking to quite a few students in the last few months. So I would say in two ways. One is it is unfortunate that the people who are passing out, they have two challenges. One is the finding a appropriate employment because there's no campus happening. The colleges, I mean, companies don't come to the campus. That is one thing happening. And you missed your valuable, maybe final year being with your students. That's the best thing that you can ever think of. You can't roll back. So those two things happen. But you know what? You have been part of history. You're going to say, you know what? We were part of COVID and we were in the final year. And a couple of years down the line, you will say, see, we made it. Nothing stopped us. Right? So that's going to happen. I think you need to keep that in mind before worrying about what's going to happen, because you are going to walk in to one of the best new worlds. You don't have to make any change. The world has changed. You don't have to make any changes after getting in, because you are getting into the change, which is very good. And that's the fortunate part of it. Right? So there's a lot of fortunate things that happen to you. I mean, I wish I was in this stage when the change is happening. I know what the change is. And when we were studying in MBA colleges, etc., I can tell you we would die for somebody to come to a college to speak. And that will be a big event. And in today's world, you can get 10 people on the video and still hear 10 people. So there's a lot of fortunate positive things. So don't worry about COVID. COVID is an event. Okay. So here what we are looking to speak about is what is changed and how do you prepare yourself? Because what you learned, what the examples that you got, what the world you saw when you entered the college versus what is going to be, it's going to be slightly different because it has to change. So while the world was looking to do a lot of changes through technology, by the new innovation, economies have changed, the world has become flat, so things would change. But what happened with this COVID is it accelerated. The best example is a vaccine would take a couple of years to get a vaccine. It has taken a couple of months. So it says that it can be done, right? It can be done. I mean, why is that you would take years if this can take only months? So the speed engine, the engines are going to be with turbo charge. So that's what you need to sit back and think, hey, things are not going to wait. Things are not going to be slow. People will make examples of saying things are going to be faster, better, and there's going to be a lot of quality expected. People are not going to take an answer for saying, yeah, I will take a couple of time to get this done. No. They will turn back and ask, why can't you do it faster? What do you need to get it done to get it faster? So that's the first thing you may want to keep in mind. Why? Because I think the earlier speaker, Mr. Padi, touched upon it a little bit. I'm sure you have read a lot and people would have spoken about it a lot. We are moving into an era where data, it's going to be data driven. Everything is digitized. There are 2 Ds to it. You are entering a world with 2 Ds, digitized and data. So I'll tell you what is through to these 2 Ds are. You know, in earlier days, oil used to be the most expensive product under the sun. But today, data is the most expensive product under the sun. Take it Google, take it Facebook, take all the top companies. They are those companies who own the data and they are the most richest companies in the world. So that's going to be, data is going to be very strong. So what does data do? Data will tell the story. Data will tell the story. What's happening? Once you know the story, you can act upon it and you will plan upon it. So that's the one D of it. The next D, it's going to be digitize. Everything is going to be digitized, and COVID told everybody that you can, if you're digitized, you will be successful. People who are not digitized, they are struggling, and some of them shut shop. So today, the CEOs of the company are putting the hat of CIOs and HR. They are putting only these two hats because they said you have to take care of people because they're all sitting in different, they're sitting at home and working. How do you keep them connected and motivated and committed? It's difficult. That's one. And number two, if you don't use digital technology to run your business, then you won't be. Okay. So please keep in mind that's going to be 2D going forward. And one is digitization and the other one is data. So I had a recent global seminar where I was part of that. Everybody, the startups to big companies, everybody spoke about AI, artificial intelligence. Why I'm saying all this, I'm coming to HR very quickly. So AI will predict the trends, the behaviors, and it will preempt and do what is predictable and what is required and what is repetitive. As simple as that. It may not innovate. It won't change an idea, but it will repeat. It will look at the trend and it will behave the same. It will do the same thing, which is very predictable, right? So what happens? Anything that can be delivered virtually, you don't need a presence. You don't need to apply your mind. It will all be digitized. So earlier, we all would look for a job and you go and work in a company and you take a career. You will be doing some routine jobs. All of a sudden, they say, no, these jobs don't exist anymore. We are using AI and everything is digitized. What we are looking for is we need people who are specialists, experts, who have special skills, not routine skills. That's what you need to keep in mind. What is that unique that you're bringing to the table? What is that special skill that you can bring to the table? Oh, I can do this fast. This is what I will do. I can, if you're an HR person, you would say, oh, I can flip through the resumes pretty fast and I can interview people pretty fast. No, they'll say, no, everything is done by AI. We don't really need you to do it. Maybe you will come at the final and put a face and name together and look at the person and say, yeah, we will hire this person. That's okay. So what I'm trying to say is, unless you become an expert, unless you acquire a new skill, you find your sweet spot, you will be left behind or you will find it difficult. Okay, so that's something it's going to change. The face-to-face interactions are going to be very less going forward. People are working from home. Companies have figured that you can work from home. So how do you manage people in this scenario is going to be a big question, because it is easy to measure somebody's performance, sit in a cafeteria, have a coffee, have a nice conversation, talk about all the issues, blah, blah, blah. Now it's not there. The companies are not going to build the real estate anymore. Whatever seats are there, they will reduce or keep it as it is. When they grow, they will say, guys, you can work from home. So that's good news. What's going to be very interesting is performance will be outcome based. Nobody is going to sit in the office morning until the boss leaves and burn the midnight oil and say, I work so hard. You see me, I'm in the office all the time. Those days would be gone. It's going to be outcome based. I mean, you have a clarity on what's your job, what's the special that you bring in, how do you run that extra mile to do it, and what's the outcome. It's going to be outcome based. So that's going to be very interesting going forward, because most of us have this socialist mindset. I just showed up for my job and I'm continuously in this company, so you get to keep paying me, increase my salary, and promoting me. So those things can change. It's going to change. When I said the routine jobs are going to be done, I'm not even saying the jobs are just getting digitized, it will be done by software. The AIs have already come, the e-workers have already come. I'm sure you guys are using the Siris of the world in your phones and Alexas of the world. It has now come to work. So I have a customer of mine, which is an American company. They have digital assistants at work in HR, in finance, in supply chain, everything. So any assistant would do a job, this assistant does it, period. So if you're having some 10 HR assistants and 20 accountants in a company, you don't need to have those people anymore, because it's all routine jobs. What they say is what is being seen by eyes and hands, these assistants would do. So that's why I was saying you need to become an expert. Where they are companies should hire your thought process, your intellect, your knowledge, your skill, not your motor skills. We need a body, put some muscle power there and get things done. No. So that's what things are going with, and that's what AI is doing, a disruptive innovation in this world. It is going to be disruptive. So think about it. Earlier, people will say, "Hey, did you get a job?" You say, "Yeah, I got a job." So what does a job mean? You be in the university or you just be there. Some company would approach you, give you a job, and you pick a job. But going forward, I would recommend everybody to do is pick a career. There is a difference between these two. Career is what you define what you want to do. You guys are very fortunate and lucky because there are so many options out there. So many options. All that you need to do is pick that option. If you pick a career, you will get a job. Job is an event in people's career. You will be in a company, it's a job. A company would give you a job. If you stay long, it might become a career. But job is an event. Career is not an event. It's life. Choose a career that you want to be in. Pursue that career. You might get delayed in getting a job. It's fine. I'll give you, I don't know how much time do I have, but I'll just try and give a quick 60-second story. I had a student who was basically an engineering, mechanical engineering, but this person was crazy about automobile, cars, etc. So when he went to engineering, the college funded him. He built an ATV all by his own. He went for national competition, etc., etc. So I thought, yeah, I mean, like any other engineering student is pursuing. Then it came to his masters. So I said, what are you going to do now? He said, no, I'm going to do my master's either in Germany or UK or United States. So I said, why? What are you going to do? He said, I'm going to become an automotive engineer. I want to design cars. Okay, so pick up the best, go to MIT or Stanford. He said, no, I'm going to Detroit. We said, why Detroit? You got other universities or places. He said, Detroit is the mecca of automotive. I want to be in that community. I want to be where the big companies are. I want to be where the OEMs are. I want to be where the design is done. So he picked up a state to go, and he picked up a college. And last I heard, he's interning with the Ford, designing. The Ford designs a car, and he's checking the prototype cars. Not even gone to a production yet. So in the college, he got a job. I mean, the IT companies came. He didn't appear for any of those. He said, "This is what I'm going to do." And now he's sitting in same like you guys. He's sitting in the COVID time. He doesn't know he's going to get a job or not. But he said, "No, I will still stay in this. I'm sure the designers would hire me someday, and I will get into this piece." So he picked up his career. So what I'm trying to say is, if you pick up a career will give you a job. Everybody has a seat in this world, right? Everybody will get a job in this world. So pick up a career. That career, if you pick that up, it will go with your passion, it will go with your interest, you will become an expert. You will grow without you struggling to grow. So COVID or no COVID, COVID is an event. After 1 year, we'll forget about COVID. Trust me. The things have changed. I told you what the changes have happened. It's going to be faster, it's going to be digitized, it's going to be AI driven, routine activities will get easy, blah, blah, blah. You have to become an expert. But how do you become an expert is you pick a career. Don't look for a job. If you don't get a job, it's okay. Peer pressure will be there. Parents will tell you, hey, you've not got a job. Let me call somebody, make some few calls, etc. That's fine. So in addition to that, engage with specialists, whichever we are interested in. Talk to the specialists, talk to the industry people, equip yourself, follow your passion. And there is so much opportunities out there. Okay. So don't get too enamored with COVID. Things have changed. Good thing is you are going to be part of, you are starting with the change. So you won't be dragging or you won't be tail ending. You will be part of it. But only thing, be aware of it. Pick what is really matters to you and what's your passion, and go after it. Okay. Thank you.